So, the reason why I wanted to interview you today was because I was wondering what it was like to grow up with a single parent and to not have your dad in the picture.
Okay.
So thank you for giving me this opportunity to interview you.
Of course.
So my first question is, what was it like to grow up with a single parent?
Well, my dad walked out on my mom when I was 2. He just never came home. And called my mom a couple days later and was like, alright, the sheriff is going to be over with divorce papers. And blindsided my mom. She had no idea. She kind of lost it. We moved in with my grandparents. I love them to death. I'm really close to them because of it. And then my dad moved about 40 minutes away to another town. And I went to my dad's every weekend, and he would bring me to school sometimes, but I can't say he was the best dad. My hair was pretty unkempt. Breakfast sucked. So bad. And I don't know, I love my dad anyways though. He was my dad, you know, like what am I gonna do? I was fine with it. I just went with the flow, kind of went from house to house to house and over and over and over. And people would be like, where's your dad? Or where's your mom? Because it would usually be one or the other. Which sucked because a typical family and typical parents go to everything together. It was different. It was a little, made me stand out a little bit.
So is your dad still around? Do you still see him all the time, or?
No, I haven't seen him for about, I think it's coming on 9 years now. Oh, I've seen him once in between that time, and it was for about 5 minutes. I never talked to him. He's trying to be my Facebook friend, but that's about all the contact I've had. He got remarried. He moved to Israel and got remarried and had 2 kids, divorced that woman, got remarried again, had another kid. And now he's paying child support for those kids, but not for me because I'm in America and the American government will not go after him since he's in another country.
Right.
So he's got a lot on his plate over there and I seem to be left behind.
That must be really hard.
Yeah, it's a bad feeling, but my mom remarried about 6 years ago. And I love the guy to death. My stepdad is awesome. He has been there for me always. And definitely took on the role of father. But I can't call him dad. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which has always put me in a weird position when I was growing up. Like, I didn't really call people by their names, like ever. Because I didn't know what was appropriate, what felt right.
Like adults and stuff?
Yeah, like adults, parents, teachers, even friends sometimes. Like new friends, I'd be like, oh hey, you, like my last boyfriend that I have, like I didn't call him like Sean for a while. It was like, hey, like, or baby or something, but it was never like, I don't know.
So, have you found yourself now being able to call people by their first names, like starting to get over that?
Definitely with other people, but still with my stepdad, I still call him Jeff. I call him Dad because it makes him feel really good. I call him that on his birthday, on Father's Day, you know, when I want something. But yeah, I don't know. It's just I feel like I don't really have a real dad, so I'm not gonna call anybody dad.
It's hard. It's hard to grow up without that. So you feel like in the past it's affected you, but you're starting to get through it now?
Definitely. I mean, there comes a time and a place for dealing with something like that, and it's not going to be dealt with by, you know, other people. I have to come face to face with my actual dad, which may never happen.
Yeah. So presently you're feeling like you can start to call people by their first names and you're starting to get through it, but
Yeah, definitely.
how else do you find it's affecting your life in the present?
I definitely feel like it affects my entire view of the male species. I definitely have some, I mean, it's unsolved, you know, problems, and now it's very hard to trust men. It's very hard to give them enough space for them to be able to function, but for me to feel okay about it. It's a very hard balance for me to make, definitely.
So you find that it's hard to kind of trust men in certain circumstances and stuff? Is that
Yeah,
what you're saying?
it's definitely the trust issue because my dad, out of nowhere, my mom explains to me she was so happily married. They
Yeah.
have a 2-year-old kid, and then boom, gone. Life fell apart. Fell apart, like out of absolutely nowhere. He didn't even talk about it. He didn't show any signs that he was gonna leave.
Right.
Just kind of up and left. And it's definitely hard for me to trust guys to not just up and leave.
Yeah, that's extremely difficult. Do you think in the future you're gonna be able to find yourself being able to trust people, trust men, maybe find a connection with your dad?
Yeah, I definitely find myself trusting more and more. I've had like 3 serious boyfriends since, high school, and I definitely had to work on it. Every boyfriend was different. Every boyfriend was progression. But I see myself giving them space. I see myself kind of maturing in that way. But I don't know if I could ever have a relationship with my dad. I don't think I can.
Right. So you don't have any plans to see in the future, or
I mean,
it's possible?
I'm Jewish and I want to do birthright and I want to go to Israel and I want to see, quote unquote homeland, but if I go, I know I'm going to feel the need to see him and my 3 half sisters and stepmom that I don't know.
Right.
So it's going to be very difficult, very challenging, very emotionally wearing if I have to do that, which I kind of feel like I should, because I don't want to have something in my life that's just untied, something that's just not there. I don't know.
So do you feel like you have an untied relationship with your dad, like it's not finished, it's not closed?
Yeah, it's definitely a loose end, and I hope it doesn't stay that way because I don't know him. He doesn't know me. I do feel a little bit of anger and hate and not understanding where he's coming from, what he's doing, why he did what he did. And I'm sure I'll hear something completely different than what my mom said, completely, because he's going to want to make himself look good, like he didn't just walk out. But I don't think I could ever trust what he says.
Right, because he left you.
Because he left me. He left me in another country as a young child. Who does that to a child? I don't get it.
Yeah, that's hard. I'm sorry. Well, thank you so much for letting me interview you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate your time and everything. And I'll see you later. Thank you.